Adoption is not all perfect and rosy and feel good feelings. Hey, Lacrice Bundy here. Welcome to my channel. This is the channel where you can find the best advice about adoption and also advocacy for children in need. If you love this content, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button to be notified when I post a new video every week. When you see things about adoption, you read things about adoption, it's usually portrayed in a pretty positive light, right? It's we want to adopt and we want to love children. And I love adoptions because I truly believe that it saves lives. However, there is also a sad truth to adoption that's not talked about enough. And I believe that we need a balance. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the sad truth about adoption. Number one, adoption is born from loss. It's born from loss, it's born from pain. Because when you think about it, a mom who's pregnant had to actually think through, hey, I'm not gonna be able to raise my own child. I'm gonna have to probably put this child in somebody else's home and have that child be raised. That's a huge loss. That's a lot of pain that happened that caused that mom to think that way. As an adoption lawyer, I have had the privilege of representing a lot of biological moms as they have placed their babies for adoption. And I can tell you that the circumstances that they were living in was not awesome. And so a lot of these moms are really coming from pain and loss. And so understanding that painful truth about adoption will really give you compassion in your heart for the biological moms who really have to make this really hard decision of placing their babies for adoption. Number two, the truth about adoption is that that child that comes into your home that you adopt already has their own history. A lot of times I find that first-time hopeful adoptive parents, when a child comes into their home that they've adopted is, or even before that child actually comes in their home, what they're thinking is this is going to be my child. They're going to be part of my family. And, we're going to shut everybody else out, the biological family. And it's going to be my little family that I've been dreaming of forever. And that's great, right? Having your own family is awesome. But when you adopt, it's different. You have to look at it differently because that child came into your home with a history already. It's not the same when you birth your own child. They're your history. They're a part of you. This child came to you with history. And cutting off that history through close adoption, I believe is a great disservice to a lot of adoptees. Now, I'm not an adoptee and I don't want to speak for adoptees. And I know that adoptees, they're not all created equal, obviously, and so they all have their different opinions about open adoption and closed adoption. And my advice for that is go and listen to what adoptees are saying about their experience and what they think about closed versus open adoption. But what I can tell you is that understanding that truth from the get-go will really actually help you parent your child better and set you up for success when you understand that they are coming to you with a history already. Mental health history, physical history, whatever history, right? They have their own history already. Their DNA, their genes are from the biological family. So when you take that on, you are bringing that history into your home, and learning to honor that is really going to help you in the long run. You comment below, let me know what your thoughts are about closed adoption. Number three, adoption is not for the faint of heart. I'm sure that you guys have heard about Mecca Stauffer. She is a famous YouTuber. And about a year ago, there was a huge thing with her where she had adopted a son internationally. And then a few months later, her and her husband decided to quote unquote rehome him, which really means they give him up after they've already adopted him. Okay, they decided to take him back to the place that they got him from, which is horrifying. Now, I have a very negative view on rehoming, and I believe that nobody should ever rehome a kid. Okay, I just don't think that that should be even a thing. Now, there's even Facebook groups about rehoming where they call it second chance adoptions, and I just think that whole thing is ridiculous. Okay, that's my personal opinion. Now, adoption is not for the faint of heart, and what I mean by that is if you're gonna adopt a kid, then commit to being with that kid forever, because that's the commitment that you're making. To adopt a child and then to have it in the back of your mind that, oh, maybe I have an out if it doesn't work out, I believe is a great disservice. And honestly, I would say if you're a first-time hopeful adoptive parent and you're thinking, okay, I'm gonna dip my toe into adoption, and then if it doesn't work out for me, I'm gonna change my mind, I would say just don't adopt. Like, don't get into it. Bring this kid into your home who's already gone through trauma, who's already gone through all this pain, and then just decide that if he gets to a certain place that you can't handle, that you're just going to give them back up. Okay, because you're doing such a great disservice for that child, and I think that's completely appalling. So as you can see, I have very strong feelings about that. And I know some people think differently about it, and we can go and debate the pros and cons of that all day long, but my bent is no rehoming. Just don't do it. I actually recently talked to a couple who adopted a child, and their daughter she's now 17, I believe, and they had to give her up for adoption because she literally left their home and decided that she wanted another couple to adopt her. And it wasn't because of anything they've done. So we ended up in this situation where they were so heartbroken because they wanted her to stay in their home. They've been, taking her from this place to that place and getting the help that she needed, or mental health issues and all these physical issues and all these things that they had walked through all these years. And they never gave up. They never even once thought we're going to rehome our daughter. But she decided after she became a teenager, I don't want to be with my parents anymore. And they couldn't physically tie her down in the home and say, you must live with us. And so they had to let her go. And I walked with them through that process. And it was actually one of the most painful things that I've ever seen a couple walk through when it comes to adoption, is having to give up their daughter because she wanted them to give her up. Okay, that's very different than the Micah Stafford story, where she decided to give up her son when he was still very young because they decided that they couldn't handle his special needs. My point is that adoption is not for the faint of heart. Okay, adoption is a journey. It's a lifelong journey. And if you're gonna do it, then commit for the rest of your life to be with that kid. If you're a first-time hopeful adoptive parent and you have no idea where to start with your adoption, right? You're like, what do I do? Well, I have a program that you're absolutely going to love, and I would love to talk to you more about it. If you click the link in the description below, it'll take you to a link where you can apply to work with me, and I would really love to help you start your adoption journey confidently. And also, if you want to join a group of like-minded, hopeful adoptive parents who are wanting to get the information that they need to start again, and you want to just meet other hopeful adoptive parents along the journey and walk with them through the journey, I would love for you to join my free Facebook group that's been growing like crazy over the past few months. And I'm in there chatting with folks and doing lives and answering their questions. So if you're interested, click the link below to join the Facebook group, and I would love to see you there. Now, please, again, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching. Bye.